Hello, folks. I greet you. We are television active, if you ask me, and time for another program of Homo Politicus on Enterprise TV. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Today, we interrogate this issue coming from Rivers State. Governor Siminalayi Fubara, helmsman on the cusp. I won't govern on bended knees, he warns. Now, Governor Siminalayi Fubara is perhaps the most embattled of the present crop of state governors in the country. Like a man torn between a rock and a hard place, the 49-year-old Opobo-born politician is a man on the cusp of something unpredictable. The governor has vowed that he would not rule Rivers State on bended knees, if you understand, regardless of the ongoing battle to destroy the soul of the state. For that matter, he insists he would run the state on his own terms. Our man is currently locked in a political battle with his immediate past predecessor and godfather benefactor, Wike. Now, Fubara was speaking at the country home of a former governor of the state, Celestine Omehia, who was burying his mother, Mrs. Ezinne Omehia. But in any political crisis, you don't hide behind anybody. You are going to get found out anyway. So let's go there. My two discussants are Rivers State-born Cyril Abaku, broadcaster and communications expert. Cyril, I welcome you.
Thank you, Citizen Jones.
He's joined by chartered accountant, public affairs analyst, Akin Fatunke. Akin, I greet you.
I thank you, Citizen Jones. I was born and I came from the city of the rocks. So river and rocks, fauna and flora.
Okay.
They meet.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, gentlemen, so we're talking politics. Cyril and Akin, rivers of dreams, rivers of intrigues and so on. So are we surprised at the turn of events there?
Okay. And since the man from the river is looking at the man from the rock, I like to say that hope it will not end up as rivers of Babylon, where we sat down and we wept. I will remember the good old days of Zion. I like to say it's an interesting scenario that is playing out. On the one hand, I am happy that somebody, somewhere, standing up to say that, Godfather, you go sit down. We never had that. And I have thinking the Adidibu factor and the Amala politics that we had in Oyo. Adidibu stood the president of the country, stood eyeball to eyeball with him and told him point blank he could not come and dictate in the local politics.
This is how we run our show here.
And that is the way shows are run. I decide to hire and fire and makes decisions about state until death did them part. Back to Fubara. I see politics at play here, Citizen Jones. I see a battle of long knives. I still, and I've said it before, I've not seen that this battle is going to be a battle that is going to be a walkover. Either side, the sword of Damocles swings. I see situations where Fubara is beginning to have teeth and bites because the life of Omeru.
So anything is possible.
Anything is still possible now, I dare say. I will conclude my opener by saying to either sides, like if I have the time I can get back into it, that he who fights and runs away always lives to fight another day.
Thank you. Thank you for that opener. Cyril, sometimes you cannot but wonder if we were not living in Orwellian times. That is an attitude and a brutal policy of propaganda, surveillance, disinformation, denial of truth and manipulation of the past.
Yes, yes. What we're seeing today bears witness, so to say, to the sort of scenario you've cast. Now, to face the matter head on as it is, Governor Fubara fought and ran away. I can't escape that premise which Mr. Fatunki has laid on the table. Fubara fought and ran away. Now he's having to fight another day.
He must pay for running away.
He may have to pay if he's not careful. Yes, two things. In your intro, you said the outcome is unpredictable, and I agree with you, because you take the car out of the garage and you plot your route. He didn't do that. The car came out of the garage. He is now middle of the road. Sometimes the dangers could be unforeseen. They may not show up in the rear mirror. Just when you're taking the turn, that's when something comes out of hiding. So he's in the middle of the road already. One can only hope that if any step he takes now should be the right step that he's taking. Governor Wike had run a lot of things around him. No thanks to the Abuja Peace Treaty. Supposed peace treaty he went to sign on extremely unfavorable terms, and came back to reverse it to say it didn't matter that it wasn't a death sentence, it was the best thing he thought he could have done.
Who said this?
The governor, in the interest of democracy. Okay. But now I think he has woken up to reality. He has seen that not all that glitters is gold. He has seen that.
But there's a cynic would tell you not every shade of gold glitters.
Exactly. And then again, and I think that warning is fit for the governor. You want to look at the fact that he himself is waking up late to realize that loyalty is not the same thing as servitude or subservience. They are two different things. I think that both parties in the game, who have the skin in the game, Governor Wike and former Governor Wike and current Governor Fubara, define loyalties in different ways. I think that for Governor Wike, it was largely a matter of subservience, a matter of political slavery, really, a matter of servitude. But the governor, for him, defines it perhaps a little differently.
But so, you get the impression that Governor Siminalayi Fubara is oblivious of Robert Greene's 48 laws of power. The laws of power are relevant here.
Yes, never outshine the master, and so on. I, for one, I can tell you freely that Fubara didn't see himself 1 year ago, 6 months ago, coming to this point of saber rattling, of saying, I will not go on this unbended. I don't think he saw himself that things will ever come to this. But I think that his benefactor had dragged the matter longer and deeper than even he thought that things could get. So clearly what Wike is looking for is not just a governor who came to replace him that he anointed. He's looking, the story of one governor in the southeast that would go to the godfather's house and would opt not even to sit on a chair. He would sit on the ground. When they say, why are you on the ground? Say he came because of loyalty. Eventually they fell apart. I think that a godfather...
So the godfather at that point became suspicious.
Maybe not. Maybe he thought indeed this one was more loyal than I thought. But the cost of godsonship can be so steep that the godson may realize late in the day that this was not the path.
I'm sure you have heard this line from American writer, comedian Mark Twain. He said, loyalty to government, loyalty to country always, loyalty to government sometimes when it deserves it. Do you understand the quotation? Yeah.
Aptly. Except that if Mark Twain were to twist things around and come to Nigeria, I am not sure where the level of loyalty and power resides. Is it the people? Is it really the way the framers of democracy want it to be? I also have read Henry David Thoreau in Weldon, when he said that, and I paraphrase here, that those who hack the branches go on in hacking, believing that they have brought down the problem.
The tree down.
But you see, you hack at your roots. Go to the roots that takes away the cancer out of the jar bottle or the genie bottle. My points simply is it's early in the day.
Too early in the day.
It's still early in the day.
Okay.
For us to see where this pendulum is going to swing. One, I think Pastor Nelson Wike, in my honest opinion, people say that every other place is not Lagos, has not learned from the grandmaster of politics.
You think he's going overboard?
I think he has not applied the brakes when they should be applied. I think that's my perception. And
it is said that the mark of the man is knowing when to apply the brakes.
Yeah.
I don't think he has done that on one hand. I also think that Fubara, in my own humble, perhaps poor way of looking at it, which I know that Cyril might not agree with, and in fact, the vast majority of the intelligentsia, people I have absolute respect for in River State, will not necessarily agree to, is the fact that I think Fubara started well in playing down and playing, I want to play the fool. But because Wike now
good in politics,
Fubara came out. It was everybody knew it and said that they had no problem with Wike, and that Wike is still the grandmaster.
Akin and Cyril. At this point, I cannot. The statement credited to the so-called first Antichrist, Napoleon Bonaparte, comes to mind now. He said, "In politics, stupidity is not a handicap."
Well, because at the end of the day, they are the most stupid, and they are the one that goes on with our commonwealth. Stupid small, and all that. And then they get it all. And then the ones that are wise are now made to be their boy now. I have said a statement, please let me say on the other side. Instead, I'm trying to strike a balance. For Fubara, I said, I agreed that he acknowledged the fact that a hand brought in willy-nilly there. And when that hand refused to see reason, he still kowtowed. However, Fubara also needs, at this point, to also learn from another grandmaster. Okay, a disciple of a grandmaster that we know. I'm talking of Raji Fashola. And Raji Fashola was in his shoes at one point in time. The intelligentsia also stood up and said, "No, stand up to the Jagaban at that time." But you know what he did? People called him fool at that time. But he bided his time.
He behaved stupid, but he came out the best for it.
No, his attitude.
He not only came out best for it, as we speak today, they are still on evil terms. You don't fight this kind of battle. Give a chance to the witches and wizards that we have around. Granting the fact that take it or leave it, Rivers State people and Nigerians, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Wike is one of the performing ministers so far that we have in this country.
Yeah. So be it. But let me nick in the words of the great American televangelist Billy Graham, if you remember. He said, "I think where political issues invade moral situations, spiritual leaders have to speak out."
They have to. Because when it was Billy Graham who also said one time that if you lose money, nothing is lost. He said another. He said if you lose something else, something is lost. But that if you lose character, everything
is lost.
Is
gone.
Yeah. You ask yourself, this whole debacle university between Wike and Fubara, what enlightenment, what orientation, what reorientation,
and for that matter, what does each of them or both of them want? What do they want?
Exactly. Now I'm coming. What has he really given us? What have we learned out of it? What do we not want to happen again as a result of what happened between two of the man and what you can see? Then to bring your own question also into the picture, what has been the benefit, right? Yeah. So the answer, I'm afraid, is nothing. Other than that, Governor Fubara has now become
whipping boy?
No. In part, but has become the rallying point for all of the disgruntled, some may say retired political
heavyweights
in Rivers State. And it's unfortunate because somebody who was elected by the people, has their supporters, enjoys their widespread backing, has now been reduced to somebody looking for anybody that can support him, anybody that can support him.
But don't you think Siminalayi Fubara should play ball?
Well,
it depends on on what the ball is. Is there a field? Because you can play ball and just play it outside the field. And so just playing ball is not playing ball. I'm back to spiritualism. I think it's also the bane or the problems we have. Those who are supposed to be spiritualists, Billy Graham, the Baptist minister, was clear. Several times, you lose morality.
You have lost everything.
You've lost it all.
I want to now add that when you now lose something that you call sense of shame, because shamelessness makes you dance naked in the public. And when you begin to dance naked in the public and people are applauding you, I dare say that you need to be careful. What is playing out now? They say one day or one night or 24 hours is
a long time in politics.
I see situations where, in my opinion, that part of the odious vermin that we don't like goes beyond Wike. Go to the Jagaban himself. Jagaban, Bola Tinubu was a common enemy of the enemy of my enemy is my friend and all that. And it goes to looking at his emergence of saying he won Rivers. So if everybody now then says Fubara, stand on your own but support Bola Tinubu, and Wike says support Bola Tinubu, it is Bola Tinubu that I would therefore say has to stand up, go beyond
Akin and Cyril,
and go behind to make sure that
Akin and Cyril, have you folks ever heard something like government by subterfuge, deceit in order to achieve one's goal? So Fubara had better watch his back.
Yes.
And Bola Tinubu should watch his back.
Yes.
Okay, all the elders out there should watch their back. Cyril is making a point. Please, irrespective of where we stand now, is asking the question, all of us, whether we've gone to school or not gone to school, what has been the bottom line for all of us? When these people fight their fight and then go behind and meet at weddings and at burial ceremonies and then backslapping and all that kind of thing. And then what now happens to you that you decide that you are going to continue to hack yourself in there? Nothing that
after all
is there for us.
After all, we always have the habit of saying when two elephants fight. But when they also are engaged in love tango, it's the same grass.
Oh, well, except that in this particular situation, I don't see any grass, but the elephants are still fighting. It is a terrible thing.
The grass or the turf in this case is governance in Rivers. It is suffering. Even if the two elephants were to be in a love tango, as was the case between Wike and Fubara, what was the cost of that? What was the cost implication? We heard later that Wike said Fubara should remit $20 billion to him every month. We don't know how true that is. But you had when Wike said by himself that he was the one who single-handed bought all the forms for all the candidates of PDP in Rivers State, which means that somebody invested and someone must reap. That's where we are. It's bad, it's pernicious, it's tendentious,
so
it is
Fubara is in a vice?
Well, it's up to him to define where he is, but I think that in the end, he must make choices that properly reflect well on reverse people. That, for me, would be the real hallmark of this whole thing.
Well, for me, I would like to say that Fubara trying to learn from the other small master that we call Rajifa Shola performed, irrespective of all the challenges. So Fubara has to perform, irrespective of whether you are stay there or fight or not, because that is going to be the kind of legacy. Take it or leave it. Fashola fought, and somebody just felt that
gentlemen,
he was a poster boy that can be given three portfolios at the same time.
Gentlemen, I hear we must apply the brakes here, but not before thanking you. Aki, Fatunko, many thanks for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Seal Abaku, I thank you very kindly.
It's been a joy, absolutely.
We hope your River State comes out of this in one piece.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Amen.
We have said that in politics is like soccer or football. If you make a mistake, you are punished. For Governor Siminalayi Fubara, time may still be on his side, but we are saying politics may not forgive you when you keep making the same mistake. I've forgotten who said, if mistakes become a way of life, it is deliberate.
Yes.
We leave it here, gentlemen. Thank you for your time. I'm out of here. Let's do it again the next time. Until then, this is yours sincerely, Citizen Joan Susan saying bye-bye now. Take care. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.